an overview of the scene so far. We might have to move on to something a little happier, a little less depressing. Let's start where this all began. It's the year 2049 AD. France. Shit has fallen apart. This whole town is basically abandoned. No one really lives here anymore. Not like in the traditional sense. You know, or it really would be the historical sense of living here. Because the traditional sense, I don't know what I'm saying. So no one lives here anymore. Per se. Like, none of these houses are occupied. Look, they're all pretty shitty. No one lives in these fucking rat-infested, terrible, terrible places. Of course not. Sleep. There was dust. Dust on the webcam. So no one lives here anymore. This is kind of just a place where junkies go. Where time gets fast and everything gets slow. Whoa, 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 whoa. I've got some problems. Let's be honest here. There's some problems with this town. No one lives here because it's become just a terrible place. At the root of our scene, we've got Schmack Schmarrow. Captain Schmack Schmarrow, who in his infinite wisdom hopped up on cocaine, heroin, PCP, and rum, which he kind of just swirled together in one big glass. Decided to pee on the wall and kind of in this general area where all these corpses are. Peeing on a wall is one thing. Peeing on a bunch of corpses, oh, that's cold. Schmavy Schmarrow. Schmavy? Not Schmarrow. Schmavy Schmones, as he's called in non-copyrighted circles. He knows this is wrong, so he's like, Jack, you're pissing all over the corpses and the wall. He's got him on the shoulder trying to embrace him, but Jack's a fucking wild man. He doesn't care. He'll piss wherever he wants. You know, people just want to die in a corner sometimes. Jack's not going to let him just do that. You don't respect the dead. You pee on him. That's his thing. It's what he does. All right, so we got that. Now, of course, peeing is a crime. It's fairly serious. You pee on one corpse, they're going to send, the popo after you. You pee on multiple corpses, they're going to send 2 of the popo. So, we've got 2 Dementors here coming in. Schmavy Schmarrow, of course, is aware of this. It's like, you guys stop peeing, the Dementors are coming. And Jack's like, I'll give the fuck. That's what Jack sounds like in this futuristic hellhole. Things have gotten terrible. Dementors have essentially become the new police. You got some problems there because of that. Because they're the police and they're really effective. People like Agent 47, they don't really have jobs anymore. So he's just sitting around, letting his money run out. Because he's spending it all on paint. Went on down to the hardware store, got himself a gallon of paint, and he's just drinking away at that because, it's the next best thing. If you don't have alcohol, fuck it. Paint will do, right? For shame. For shame. So he's staring really angrily. Because there are some people down there. Those fucking pissers. And by those, he thinks it's 2 pissers. It's really just 1 pisser. He would really love to go in there and, strangle him to death with a cord. Shoot him in the skull. Rip his dick off. Shove it down his throat. And then, kind of choke him while he's choking on his dick so that the dick stays in the throat. You know, and like he really feels the dick on all the corners of the throat. That's what he wants to do, but he can't. Because the modern day police, the Dementors, are just far too effective. So life is cruel. He just sits around getting drunk off of paint. He's probably gonna die soon. Speaking of dying soon, once upon a time there was a little Blastoise who decided, well, okay, let's go back a little bit. So Blastoise had separated from his wife and children quite a while ago. And, you know, they thought that things were generally safe enough for them to send the kids on a little scavenging, you know, little scavenging trip out in the town. Such was not the case. Kids went missing. Blastoise came into town only to find this very, very easy to distinguish from all the others pile of Squirtle corpses. All of his children. None of them made it. So he's staring down in horror. This world's pretty bad. I mean, just look over here. We've got a family. A father. A mother. Children. The mother's just killed herself and all of her children. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Oh, God. Let's take a picture. Feel like a bad person. This is great. This is great. It's all for the sake of art. You know, before the radiation hit, you had tons of these little creatures. They were really good at burrowing underground, but, you know, not all of them. This one decided to burrow with the back feet instead of the front feet, and that's really, it's really where he went wrong. Oh, God. So the explosions hit. He was only partway done because it's really ineffective to dig with your back feet. I mean, there are animals that do it well, but not Jolteon. Jolteon doesn't know how the fuck to dig with its back feet. So the explosion hit. He was fused with the ground. And of course, because the ground doesn't really have like limbs or, you know, things that support organisms, you know, the plants aside and all that shit, you know, he died. Died in the ground. He turned really green. You know, Jolteons are normally really yellow. Quite vibrant yellow. Like electricity, but this one's all radiated and shit. So yeah, it's a cruel, cruel world. This world really is not appropriate for children anymore. I mean, just take for example, this man sitting on this arm of the couch. First of all, sit on the fucking couch, you monster. And just stop being a dick. Someone's going to have to clean that couch eventually. Someone who cares. You know, there aren't many of those left, but someone who cares is going to have to clean that couch. You just got your feet all up on there, your dirty ass jeans. Anyway, so, you know, he's a monster. We've established that. But that's not the important thing. The important thing is the interspecies fellatio, which is going on right now. You know, it's one thing if you're like, you know, making love to your dog or whatever. You want to marry your dog, your cat. Who gives a shit? Do it in the privacy of your own home, man. Do it in the privacy of your own home. This guy doesn't give a fuck, though. Out here in the street, getting pleasured orally. Orally? You know, it's hard to tell with the head crabs. They've got just one hole. I think no matter what they do, it could be considered oral. It's like a cloaca. It's a multifunction port. It's how they eat. breathe, all of that stuff. He's getting pleasured. He doesn't give a fuck. He clearly doesn't give a fuck, because look at fucking that weird cowboy that's just staring at him. I'm not entirely sure, but oh yeah. Yeah, no, he's totally sitting there pleasuring himself to the sight of this thing just sucking him off. Oh, God. Do we have no morals? Do we have no morals in this fucking city anymore? Harry Potter, meanwhile. This world's been cruel to him. He used to care. He used to care. Then on one very, 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 very sad day, one of his best friends, I mean, not really a best friend. They weren't friends in that way. It was just like he was his mentor. He meant everything to Harry. Harry really, really looked up to him. Well, one day, he died. Actually, 3 of him died. He died 3 times. You missed the other 2. But that one that just happened, that was one of those. So Harry at this point just doesn't give a fuck because Dumbledores keep dying left and right. Harry doesn't know what to do with this situation. So he's developed a completely nihilistic worldview. He realizes nothing has meaning. Nothing really matters. He tripped because he was looking and he saw that something gross was going on off in the distance and that there were, dead children and dead animals and people pissing. He tripped, for a moment, thinking, this is not right. This is not the way the world should be. But then the nihilistic worldview very quickly set in. Very quickly. And here he is. About to fall flat on his fucking face. No expression. No expression on his face. Not a bit of panic, sadness, anger, nothing. He's just accepting the situation for what it is. It's really not a world for children. Our children should be filled with hope, not nihilism. God damn it. And meanwhile, while we're at it, people shouldn't be abducting children either and making them wander the woods as their servants, which is what Slender's going to do, of course. What else can a Slender do? He's going to abduct Harry, take him away. The fact that he can cast Wingardium Leviosa and shit, that's just going to be an added bonus. Slender doesn't see people anymore. Slender only sees beings that he can make do his will, or whatever that sentence was supposed to be. He could also just kill him. I don't know. It depends. I feel like Harry probably has some use being a wizard and whatnot. So, Slender might take advantage of that. And Slender's a smart guy. Yeah. He's got a big brain. Also, Harry's like a fucking giant to him, so it's really going to be of benefit. Slender thought he was tall. He's really not as tall as he thought. Harry's really fucking big. Look at the size of that brain. God damn. Compared to Slender's skinny-ass brain, his brain ain't shit. Slender knows it. That's why he's going to kidnap Harry. Use him in the woods. Throw him at unsuspecting people with cameras who are wandering around collecting pages that Slender left up. He didn't even do it for any specific reason. He's just like, I'm bored. Stapled a bunch of pages to a tree and this person's coming around taking all their fucking pages. Slender needs people to take care of that. There's so many people now that fucking don't respect putting pages up on a tree or leaving pages on, like, all he wanted to do was put his fucking drawings up on a tree. You got these assholes with cameras, like, pitch black, no fucking light. No fucking light whatsoever. And they're coming around, taking down all of his pages. You'd be mad if your artwork was stolen callously from the woods, too. Anyway, just trying to remind you that there's a little bit of human in everybody. You know, it's like Breaking Bad has taught us on several occasions, you know. There's good in everybody. Everyone has a sympathetic side to their story. Like, if someone came around here and just started exploding all this shit, I would be furious. Or if someone was, like, filming. Oh, also there's a dead Caterpie, but yeah, whatever. Never. Got a baby doll. I don't know. There's probably something sad behind that story, but we haven't really been told at all. Meanwhile, in this area, fucking nothing's going on because I haven't done anything there. What a sad tale. We need a title for this work of art. And I gotta get the camera. Gotta get the wide shot, of course, because this covers everything. But then we need to get everything that we haven't gotten so far. We already got the dead family. Dead family number 2. Cool, cool. Pissing. Let's try to get. Oh, and that fucking clock. No one set that clock right. Society has fallen apart. Dead Jolteon. Oh god. Fused with the ground. You know, if you're viewing it like this, it really kind of looks like maybe they're just doing ballet. So, you know, if you want to take something positive from all of this, take that. It's just a little bit of harmless ballet. Harmless ballet between a man with no face who likes to abduct children and a little child. Because that's clearly like year 1 or 2 Harry Potter. It's a very young Harry. Oh. Paint drinker. Might as well save this. I'm gonna go ahead and save that. So sad. So sad. Anyway. Enough of this super sadness. Super sadness. Oh Lord. Things are so bad in this town. Let's turn this around. Let's turn this around. Now that we've saved, we need to just put them all out of their miseries. Just everyone needs to die. It's for the good of the colony. Just go ahead and clear this out. They'll thank me later. Whoa! If you blow up the electrode or the Voltor, both of them, it makes them into dead ones. That's interesting. Just got rid of those children. We're just gonna forget those children ever existed. Ow. Hurt myself a little in the process, that's okay. Clear this shit up. Cool. Oh shit. We like Super Mario'd him. Tump? Tump indeed. Tump indeed. I agree with the tump. Terp. And while we're at it, I don't want to be in this world anymore either. Oh, I'm out of grenades. God damn it, I'm all out of everything. Son of a bitch. There's got to be a way to turn off ammo. Oh, this works. And Arnold came back from the future, of course. trying to save everybody, but he was unsuccessful. Tried to stop Doomsday, but it came. What a sad, sad story. Hey, look, there's a